Mindy's Manic Monday, another glorious day here in Westminster at HBT Realty. Mindy, how are you doing?
I'm very good. I'm excellent. And matter of fact, we have a very special person.
Always special people here.
And I look very, very highly looking up to him. His name is VinhNguyen, broker, real estate of Westgate Realty Group in Virginia.
From Virginia
Yes.
to sunny California. A little cloudy today, but that's okay. Anyway, how are you doing?
Great. Cannot complain.
No,
Beautiful
not complain,
weather.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
A little bit better than Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Well, I just witnessed an amazing, weekend. It seemed like VBI. We had some, business visits. Went to the conference. Went to the dinner. It was amazing. And Mindy, what'd you think?
Yeah. Well, I'm part of the team over here in California.
Right.
In Orange County, organized that huge conference there, and this is our president for the VBI called Vietnamese Business Investment Group, and I would love for Anh to share with us about our VBI conference.
Okay. Yes. Well, VBI came together. The leadership team came together about a year and a half ago. We formalized the process about a year ago, and we had the first convention in last year, November, in Houston, Texas.
Wow, so right through the pandemic, you were like, wow.
Right, right after the pandemic, so everybody got together. We meet online once a week, and every 6 months we do offline. And so the first one was in Houston, second one in April in the Washington, D.C. area.
And I'm glad to be there too.
Yeah, and Mindy was there.
Yeah.
And because she was there, she was tasked to do the next one.
Oh, really? Well, so VBI is kind of a baby, right?
Yes.
In a way, very
Yes.
in its infancy.
Yes.
And it,
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have not known. I would have thought maybe it had been organized for 10 years or so. But you are no stranger to nonprofits and getting behind a network of people.
Right, yes. I serve on the realtor organization many different levels, on the local, the state, and the national level.
But how is VBI different? Because it is very different than
Right.
just your local or national real estate organization.
VBI, as I said earlier, we came together half ago with the motive was we look around our community, Vietnamese American community at first.
Right.
That we have a lot of organization, but none dedicated to economic or enhance or empower the community. And so we said, there's a big gap right there. And we look at other community and we said, Vietnamese community seems to be prosper or grow on our own without any help from any organized help. So we want to build a platform or a capacity building for the community. So in many different ways, it can be lending or saving, ask people to save money somewhere, or if they run into certain thing. The other thing is a lot of people, when they came here from Vietnam, our life was abruptly changed overnight.
Right.
And so we left in a hurry. Without bringing our monies, or we could sell real estate,
Nothing,
right?
yeah.
So we all start from zero, and that's why our community, because of that, start our business in a very disadvantaged level.
Right. Yeah. You started with nothing.
And
you
then,
came here,
right.
and
so
it's amazing what you've accomplished.
After we became a lot better. In terms of economic strength, we still are behind other community. And so we said, okay, it's time for us to get together and do something to help the community prosper and become, much better.
Right. And the Vietnamese community has always been a very close-knit community, whether it be business or families.
Right.
But this is really specifically geared towards helping each other out. I know we had another guest last week that we had here that talked about how you get together if there's a business that's maybe having some tough times, you share best practices and you go over things. And it just doesn't deal with local. You have you involve the businesses that are also overseas in Vietnam too, right. At the same
That's
time.
what we call global.
Global.
Yeah.
Yes. The majority of the people, of the organizers, are here in the United States, mostly Vietnamese American. But we expand throughout the world. We want to connect. So one of the major things is to connect all the famous, or not famous yet, but powerful people.
And will be famous.
Already famous.
Yes. We try to connect all the established or well-known Vietnamese throughout the world together, pull together all the resources we can to help the community. So kind of a give back thing.
Right. I just see so much, the trajectory is so high in the Vietnamese community. At one point you did have, different parts of Asia that were really up and coming with a lot of EB5 activity, especially the mainland Chinese. But with their issues with, getting funds over here, it just seems like right now the Vietnamese are really leading, the way as far as investments and things to the United States.
Yes and no. Let me backtrack a little bit. So Vietnamese, when we came here, different ways, right?
Yes.
The first few were refugees, so we didn't come here with money. But recently, most of the people came here are immigrants,
Right.
so they can bring with them money.
Right, with
But
EB5.
EB5 and things like that.
And
Right.
student exchange too.
Student, yes.
Sure.
But here's the thing. But compared with other communities, just say like Taiwanese or people from Singapore
Right.
or South Korea, if they come here open like the son or daughter want to open a business,
Right.
and they need money, they can always go back to the mother country, right, the home country. Hey, Daddy, he give me some money for investment.
I want to do that.
With our case, we have nobody.
Yeah.
So the word that I mentioned to everybody is we feel like our community is orphan, right? So we don't have our parents, elsewhere to get money, and we don't have access to the government. Like Singaporean government, they have investment vehicle that help their people. Like Temasek is a very big group that can help their people to invest overseas. I assume the same thing with Chinese, the Taiwanese, or the South Korean. But Vietnamese, we don't have such thing. So what we're trying to do is how to rally people in our community to get together and start a fund, just like that. So we help each other by our own forces.
Right.
That come together and do something like that. So that's one of the major things that we're trying to do as well
That's
down
gonna
the
be the
road.
next step.
It's hard to believe that there hadn't been anything really organized before then, because I remember when I moved from Chicago and Hawaii to San Jose, and it was actually, I'm dating myself, in the mid-70s when the refugees first started coming in. And boy, they had a tough time. We were, my family was just trying to establish themselves in the United States at that time too. But you're right, it came from nothing. And there were a lot of good Samaritans out there that helped, but there was really no government safety net from the home country because they were refugees.
Right. Yeah. So we went through a lot of tough times, and so I just feel because again the community doesn't have any organization that help the community to grow economic wise. So I think it's time for us to get together and do something.
Well, you guys did something amazing this past weekend. So,
and by the way, first two conventions, more for internal, for members only.
Sure.
But this time
This is the
in
first
Southern
time.
California is the first time that we open up
Right.
for the community to come in
Right.
to participate, and so that it's from now on it will be the trend,
At the
the things that we would do.
at the beginning, we kind of slowly introduced to the community, not really big, reach out to everybody because like we said, we are new, and we wanna see how the community react. So yes, on that day, a lot of media people came, and they were surprised. They're really surprised, and they did ask us questions that why didn't you reach out to a lot of more people that they can broadcast more. And like I said, at the beginning we slowly get the words out there, and now it's getting the impact bigger now.
Yes, and so far we have a lot of positive response, so that's a nice thing.
So are you membership based or just more of an internal hierarchy group?
It's we started with membership, only business people.
Right.
Right, but we're going to expand a little bit now. That going forward, we'll probably have one segment that has business only member, and another one that has all the professionals.
Like affiliates and things that can help with the business.
Right, so we can help each other. Right.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so grateful that the event is over and was successfully done, and everybody happy.
Thank God. And thank the people in California, in Southern California.
So now let's go back to you. Of course, people want to know who you are, why people vote for you to be the president and stuff. Start out with real estate, or did you do anything before that?
Yes.
Before getting to real estate.
Well, I was trained as an economist. I worked for the Federal Trade Commission and the World Bank just a very short time because I didn't like that. I like to do business. So I went into real estate because it seemed, that profession gave me the flexibility in time, right? So I started with real estate. I really like to do trading, not stock, but goods between countries. But I didn't have experience in that field, so I kind of, try to do that for a while along with real estate. But after 5 years, I said, okay, you know what, real estate is actually, low-hanging fruits. And so I start to focus to do that. And after a few years, I opened a company, and I grew the company to have 185 agents. And became like the biggest Vietnamese in town, company in town. And
it's like Mindy here.
Yeah, that's right. And so my company will have everybody look at us like a mini United Nations. So when the local real estate association, they want to diversify, they said, hey, who's in the market that can fill the position, and my name come up. And so the new leadership teams at the local level, Northern Virginia Association of Realtors, we had like 14,000 members, and became a board member by appointment for 1 year, and I ran the next year. I lost, but then I ran another, and I became a board member, and then moving up to became in 2010, I became the president of my local association.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
And those are tough times for real estate folks. You have to be pretty creative, right?
2009, yes. And then from there, they want me to go further to the state level, and I was supposed to be I'm sorry. I was a president in 2009. And then 2010, I think I can move up to the president of the state of Virginia.
Wow.
40,000 member. But I got hit so hard because of the Great Recession.
Yeah, those are tough
times. Focus on rebuilding the business. So that's what I did. And so I didn't become the president of Virginia. But I served on the board of directors for my local multiple-listing. And also at the national level for 4 years, board member at the national level. And then they appoint me to be representing the NAR Realty Organization to work with Vietnam Real Estate Association in Vietnam, and then Vietnam and Cambodia later. So every year I have to go to Vietnam and Cambodia.
Have to go to Vietnam. Sorry to hear that. I'll have to do so much traveling in these nonprofits. They love it.
All right, so being a great real estate brokers in Virginia with so many agents, do you have any words for our agents here in HBT in this time, in the recession time?
Well, the first thing is a lot of us, when they, you have to look at the 80-20 rule, right?
Okay.
So only 20% of the people do 80% of the business. And so if you're an agent who, which segment you want to be? You want to be in the 20% or the 80%? But if you want to be in the 20%, then you have to do something different, right? You have to attend conferences, you have to take classes, you have to listen, learn from the top producers,
Okay.
and pay money to have coaches and people like that to help you. But ultimately, basically, you don't just sit and wait for business to come your way, right? You have to really reaching out, and in order to do that, and you cannot have enough resources to reach out to everybody. So you have to focus on a target market, whether that's Vietnamese only or other groups, but or segment of the market, first-time home buyers or or seniors. But those are the segments that you can focus on. Once you focus on, then you can do something. When I first started business, most of my clients were Vietnamese. So my company name and the website, the name is too long. We try to use Westgate.com, but somebody already had Westgate. So I have to use Westgate Realty. Somebody already took that too. So it has to be WestgateRealtyGroup.com. It's too long. So not many Vietnamese remember. So what I did, right? I picked all the Vietnamese songs that has something to do with house. And very famous songs, right? So I took all those names. Nhà anh nhà em.com.
Nhà anh nhà em.
.com. Túp lều lý tưởng.com. So everybody, I published that on a paper, so everybody here, it's easy to remember.
Very creative,
right?
Yeah,
so I use
nice.
that link to my website, right? So that's how I do it. But come back to the point is, you have to have strategy.
I see.
Because every one of us is business people, right?
Yeah.
So as a business, you run a business, you have to have strategy. Because if you don't, you fall behind, because things change all the time, right? Somebody says, oh, I want to be, stationary in one place. But the earth is moving. So if you stay in one place, you actually moving backward.
Exactly.
So you have to walk at the same pace
interesting.
to be in the same position.
That's right.
If you want to be better than somebody else, you have to run, right? So that's how my analogy. But basically, if you look at major companies, I'll give you an example. Sony TV, right? If you want to buy in the like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if you want to buy a high-end TV, you use Sony TV. You buy a Sony TV, right? But if you want to buy a nice TV today, you have Samsung, you have LG, right?
Yeah.
And Sony is like third or fourth position, right? But you ask, okay, look at Sony has money too. Well, why they put themselves in this position? You see, so even big company, they do, Blockbuster, same thing, right?
Exactly.
Things change overnight, and if you don't change, you fall behind. Same thing for us. So if you want to be ahead, you go to convention because they show you trends, right? Not many people go to, because 80% of people, they don't go there, so they don't know what's going on, right? So if you want to prosper, you do well with this business, you have to follow the trend, learn more things, and always have a strategy every 6 months or a 1 year at least.
I never really thought of that. I mean, I always think of, you're meeting people at these conferences, you might learn something new, but you're right. Just the overall trend and what's going on, because, 6 months is a long time in the real estate industry or any real industry. Things could change quite a bit.
And then you got to meet other people from different area in the country, and you got to learn, meet Mindy from Southern California, meet Charlotte maybe from San Jose.
LA.
Yeah, San Jose, LA.
Okay, so a little bit back to you again. We want to know your a little bit personal level, your hobby, what do you like to do after work. I just heard earlier that you mentioned about songs, and I heard you sing a couple of songs the other night really good. Is that your favorite hobby or something?
Once in a while, it's not all the time, but if you have stress, and we all have stress, right? So one way to relieve stress for me is
Singing.
So I just go down and blast.
Karaoke.
Karaoke.
Same like you, right?
No. The other, for me too, is to go to a park nearby, and then just then stay there for like half an hour, listen to music, and I'm back to normal. That's how I do it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, so starting, that whole thing, you were heavily involved in NER and things back, 2009, 2010, which was a really tough time. We may be coming onto some, interesting tough times. I know that Mindy just mentioned that, but doing the VBI thing at the same time, so much of your time is going away. We just love that people like you, love to give back so much, and how important it is, especially now when times might get a little tough in the near future.
Right.
To have this network and to really have some sort of safety.
That's right.
That's
But
true.
we have to do what we have to do. Same thing in real estate too. The things that so normally you spend this much on advertising. Now you have to do double. If the economy hit recession.
But luckily nowadays there are social media. You can do that for free.
Correct.
And if you're creative, that's gonna hit a lot of people all over the world.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great thing.
Have you seen Vin's TikTok page?
That's for other generation.
You gotta teach him how to do that.
Yeah.
Charles is an expert on TikTok.
Okay. So when you at the conference, you hear? Did you hear Nick Tran?
Yeah, because he was part of TikTok, right? Yeah,
Yes.
that was amazing.
Exactly, the
yeah.
chief marketing officer for TikTok.
Look at that.
Yes.
I mean, but that's amazing how, so many young Vietnamese professionals are in each fabric of business, right? It's not just, one particular business or two or three, but it's expanded to media, to, even Hollywood, everything.
And that's why we need to pull them together.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the community,
They're
because we don't
all
know.
over locations. We have got to bring them all up together.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't really get to peel the onion on Vin's personal.
Oh, I try to hide that.
maybe next show, but no, we really appreciate it. I know you've had a lot of background in many other nonprofits, Asian Real Estate Association American back in 2010. So it's not just a few things. Usually if you're at the NAR level, you've probably done a lot of other things before you got there, right? No one just walks into real estate and then becomes a global ambassador or somebody in there. So we really appreciate and thank you.
Somebody asked me, why did you get into leadership in the real estate association, right? Realtor. And somebody pushed me. And then now that I'm on top of the lion or a tiger, what would I do?
You will become one.
No, I better ride all the way. If I jump off the tiger, then I will be eaten. So
sometimes though in real estate we don't have too much of an organized corporate type of leadership or whatever you might say, where as broker owners or things, or you're maybe an economist. So sometimes the nonprofit world is a good way for training and to learn about how to influence and help people.
And I learned a lot about leadership. And that's a very nice thing that helped me a lot, and so I can help my agent as well. And I inspire other, in my local association, since the time that I served as president, a lot of agents now come in because our community is actually a lot different than here. The board director used to be all white people, an older one too.
And a lot more diverse now, right?
Right, a lot
and more men now getting involved. Because when I got into residential real estate back in the 1980s, when you did, I was one of 3 men and the rest were women.
That's right.
And now it's almost like kind of the other way around now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Right. So when I came, I look very young, and so people don't trust me at that time, right?
Oh, it's tough, yeah.
So I have to, after my name, I have to put something else, right? So say, well, that's my master degree.
Put some, a little white powder in your hair and wear glasses. Just do that.
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate you sharing your story. We really do wish you great success in VBI. Looking forward to going
For the
to
leadership, looking
many
forward
more.
to your leadership, and hopefully VBI will grow bigger and more impact to everybody, around the world, especially the Vietnamese, people.
Yes, thank you very much.
And don't
for
forget
that.
about Westgate International Conglomerate, Vietnamese real estate company. Did you shorten it? Did you finally get a good short name now?
No, could
Still
not do it.
Vietnamese signs? That's amazing.
Yeah, still Westgate Realty Group.
Okay.
.com. the main one now. I drop all the Vietnamese because now I serve with across the board. So we help a lot of other ethnic groups.
Right. Well, I'm looking forward to visiting you, in Virginia.
Virginia, yeah.
When many of the nonprofits that we're involved with do a yearly
May.
pilgrimage to
May.
DC. For
Yeah, the nice
working
thing about
with-
DC is we can have access to a lot of government
Yeah,
officials.
that's cool.
Right.
So
You just need to open more affordable hotels by the DuPont Circle area. So.
I'll stay in Virginia. I take the train.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you very much for coming by and visiting on Mindy's Manic Monday.
Yeah.
What do you think? And another amazing guest here.
Awesome.
I thank you for the opportunity.
All right.
Thank you so
husband.
much.
Mindy.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
We'll see you on the next episode of Mindy's Manic Monday, where we always have amazing guests like Mr.